Oh, yeah, I better put that over here. How are you doing, guys? I got my camera. There we go. Good evening. And who do we have in chat today? We have one in chat. That's awesome. Let me turn this music down a bit. I like the imagery. Kind of looks dimensional, eh? Looks like it's a three-dimensional object in a four-dimensional space, including time and dimensions. They get into times. These dimensions are actually states of consciousness, Teresa says. Hi, Teresa. How you doing? Hi, Scotty boy. What else do we have in here? Trey. How you doing, Temperance? Good to have you. So yeah, dimensions. Let's have fun with dimensions. So what does Teresa have to say? It could be very short because Teresa's pretty smart. Let's see. These dimensions are actually states of consciousness. Are we all living in the life in 3D, 4D, 5D? Is there a combination of all three? Maybe. Well, let's flesh that out there, Teresa. Yeah, it is a cool image. So they say we live in a 3D world, right? We live with length, width, and height. That's our 3D world. Hi, Mediar. But there's also another dimension that we have in our 3D world that kind of makes it 4D. Hey, David, no. You can't stay? All right. That's all right, David. Yeah, me too, Teresa. I have a rather simplistic view on dimensions, but I am curious what others think too. So we do live in a 3D world, at least as sandwich dimension. There you go. We live in a 3D world, but there's also another dimension. There's time. That brings us up to a fourth dimensional world. So are we in a fourth dimensional world or a three-dimensional world? Depends on how you think of dimensions. People think of dimensions as spaces, uh, places, but they come in different forms. Not all dimensions are necessarily spaces or places. Some of them can be ideas, like time. That may be true, James Liqueur. How are you doing, buddy? So time is another dimension that we add on top of that. So we're up to four dimensions in our world. Now, if you add a spiritual dimension, an ether, is that 3D? Is that just part of three-dimensional existence or four-dimensional existence? Or is it separate from it? Well, to be in a 3D state, as it would be no movement, wouldn't it? Because there'd be no time. Time offers movement, change. Time is just a measurement in the change in energy, really. It's it could be considered its own dimension, or it could be considered just an aspect of dimensions. Maybe part of us is in 4D if we are more fully aware of self and others. That could be. Some people are talking about going to five dimensions. Now, and I don't know what people think a 5D world is. When does the sandwich dimension turn into a calzone dimension? Now, a 5D dimension or a fifth dimension could be the aspect of time, a further aspect of time. where time becomes irrelevant, where past, future, and present are all smashed together. Yeah, had to stick for that one, eh? The null space. That's a good one, David. And there's what's called the null space, having nothing to do with me. Uh, Thank you, David. So is all time smashed together? I think do too, Max. Okay. I see fifth dimension as the open face dimension. Okay. Sort of like your open face sandwich there, eh? So is time real? Some people don't believe in time. But really, time is just a way of measuring the difference in energy. There's a change, and that requires what we call time. Because something cannot change in the moment it's being what it's being. So, in order to have change, we must have time. The fifth is where we are fully reintegrated into universal consciousness with Source and Heaven. That's an interesting perspective. We have four. Well, that would be a good aspect of that. If time was all smushed together and you had access to all space, now that would be another dimension. So you would have to reach a sixth dimensional state. Because if you had fifth dimension where there was access to all time as one cohesive thing, you would also need access to all space. So you would have to go up to sixth dimension. Yeah, no time because all time is one time. Which really kind of defeats the purpose of it. But this is an interesting debate. Hey, James Ortiz. Time is on my side. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it is. Hi, Max G. Much favor to you, too. Do you have a version of 5D, Max G? So, to me, Teresa, the fifth dimension, as you described it, would be death or heaven. Yeah, no time in the fifth dimension as we know it. Yeah. It's good to see you here, Max G. Let's take your time with your responses and your answers. Make them long-winded. Are we out of time? I don't think we're ever out of time. No, because as we know, death or any end of a cycle is just the beginning of another one, right, Teresa? So we don't have to worry about that. Time bandits. Are there time bandits, Scotty boy? People that travel through time or people who steal time? Could you steal time? I don't know. Well, I would, yeah, I have a dimensional thought myself. I kind of believe in a 13th dimension, a 13th dimension. And what a 13, I'll describe this in a bit after you guys get our light bodies of spirit. Yeah. Time is a very interesting subject, Scotty Boy, because it's not constant, which is a weird thing. Time changes when it's near high gravitational forces, such as plasmoids that, well, they call black holes, but they're just plasmoids. That's all it is. that was and when you're in class, doesn't time seem to sit still? When I was in school, I would sit and look at the clock, and it would seem that second hand would just go backwards, just couple seconds every minute, you know. And then I wondered, is time really going backwards, or are they just messing with me? I consider that stolen time, says Scotty Boy. Yeah. Hi Trey, how you doing? Good to see you. So in my thinking, we're at 3D, we're at 4D with time. Now we could be at 5D with a spiritual completeness, but I don't think that really changes the dimensions. It just changes us. So how would you get to a 5D? I know that people believe it's a state of being, but the dimension is where you exist. A dimension is something that affects you. So what would 5D be? Checking me out? Thanks, Chase Trey. We have ever popular wasted time. I'm sorry, Scotty Boy, I don't get the reference. I'm wondering if most of us are moving back and forth across two or three of these dimensional states of consciousness, depending on where they are in their lives. That could be. See, but we still don't even have a consensus on dimensions. Scotty's got the directions how to get there. You're stuck in 2D? You're in a flat plane, are you? Flat plane existence is interesting. Sometimes better versions of yourself. Yeah. But did anything change, or did your perception just change? Two different dimensions at once. Okay. Karen Lynn. It's both. Okay. Which dimensions, though? Are you in the first and second dimensions, the seventh and eighth? Science believes there's 11 by string theory, which I don't really believe, but I don't believe that those are strings. Um, that's what the universe is made up of. Well, half of that. There's, there's, there's your electron. Oh, oh, my shirt is dirty. I picked up the cat a little while ago. I have to go and, wow, I'd have to go for, I'm a pig. Oh my goodness. I didn't see how dirty my shirt was. My level of awareness changed. Okay. Less emotional, too. Less emotional, but more compassionate, maybe, Teresa? Karen, I can't see your emojis, unfortunately. I see the smoke coming out the end. My perception has changed, but my surroundings are the same. Karen just blew in. 2Ds pulled me over yesterday for speeding. Yeah. Hi, Mediyard. Yeah. Unless you ground yourself in this dimension, then it's irrelevant. Interesting. I have separate Mandela memories. I may have confused it. I noticed I'm on both planes in my memory with many. Hmm. I've never had an experience that I love you too, Karen. I've never had an experience of Mandela effect, and the ones that they do show I can't confirm, and there are a few that I do know of that are not true. Let's see. I thunked, but it hurt. So 5D for me better get higher. Yeah, I'm going to go to 13D, Karen. That's my plan. My plan. We exist everywhere all at once, but our consciousness is what expanding through experiences. I missed the bus for 5D. At 7, Old Smoky is reviewing Death Nut Challenge. I sent him. He's going live with John Scoville. Okay, I don't know what a Death Nut Challenge is. Yeah, 13. Everyone likes the number 12, and the number 13's got a bad rap over the past few millennia. When we know, well, I'm going to inform you, it's a great number. I don't know. We might, Teresa. So this 5D that you talk about, let's go back to that first before we go on to 13th or 7th dimension. Um, it's experiencing what? It's being connected with everything, which you kind of do. Let me go back to your uh, description here. Fully integrated to universal consciousness with source heaven. Hmm. Now, aren't we fully integrated already, in a way? We are conscious. We do have the ability. Hi, Patricia. We are separate in our existence, somewhat, from the rest of the world. We have a shell. We also have an energy field that extends about 55 feet by detectable science. So we're not really in a shell. And are we fully integrated? Because when we integrate through remote viewing, that's integration. Is it full integration? I don't know. If it's just an energetic thing, it seems that it could be. I'm going beyond all to source. I need some answers and some serious points of disagreement with such. How are you feeling tonight? Feel fine, Patricia. How are you feeling? Oh, okay. All right. So Karen likes the idea of fully integrated, or you're questioning that integrated, fully integrated. Okay. That's a good one. I like that. I'm going beyond all source. Okay. Unless you're bungee jumping off the 14th floor and forgot to take. No. There is no 13th floor. They got rid of the 13th floor. We are not all fully integrated with Source Spirit right now, as we are different levels of understanding right now. I don't know, but we're immersed in it. Oh, that's too bad, Patricia. Would you allow us to send you some healing? We are working on reintegration to the whole. Karen can confirm integration. I don't know about that, Teresa. This separate experience that we're having could be the entire plan. Reintegration might be completely out of possibility. Reintegration with the source or the one would probably require that you go back in time to the beginning. And where is the beginning? I don't know. Just some thoughts. 11 dimension, 6th dimension. Well, right now we're discussing 5th dimension as returning to full integration with source. But at that point, I don't know. Would you be yourself even then? Or would you just disperse into source? Okay, Patricia. It's a 6D statement. Okay. All right. If anyone wants to send some healing Patricia's way, she's not feeling too good, blood pressure. Let's take a moment. Close your eyes. And a line will appear in front of your head, your eyes. Or a shape or a form, however you view it. It'll be Patricia. Some of her energy will be out of whack. You'll see probably, well, I usually see black spots or pulsing lights. This time I'm seeing pulsing lights for pain. I don't know why. It's usually black for me. What you want to do is focus on the parts of the energy that are out of balance. And with your mind, you can manipulate them, change their form, and make them become more harmonious. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And Scotty's got me thinking about Clown World. Or somebody has me thinking about Clown World. Alter that energy until it's flowing smoothly through her body. It should be a smooth flow in and out. There we go. Neck and shoulders need a cool hand. Now, I saw a white line. It was throbbing or pulsing. And her head. It looked like cotton candy. That's why it was Clown World. Okay, so back to dimensions. I hope that helps, Patricia. All parts of self in many realities are reintegrated. Everyone is on a separate path, but eventually we ascend to fifth dimension of universal consciousness. Maybe. Maybe we do. But that would be a good point to talk about 13th dimension. 13th dimension is the inner dimension. April Fool's is Loki's Day. Nice. You fell last week, sprain on the left foot. Oh. I'd go along with that one, Trey. Loki's Day. Or maybe I'm wrong, but it matches up though. Okay. Everyone needs rebalancing and harmony. That is true. So 5D. Let's get back to that. So reintegration with source. Isn't that kind of like the recycling? I'm going to play devil's advocate on it. I always do, so you'll have to get used to that. But wouldn't that be like the recycling center? Wouldn't that be where your soul just gets reprocessed? All of your memories get stored in the Akashic records, and your energy gets reused, reintegrated. It'd almost be like becoming alive again, or being reborn into another life. So even going to source would be like reincarnation, in my eye. Hey, Circle K. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are dimensions to you? Day of Mischief or Halloween? What about Devil's Night, Trey? The day after Halloween. For me, hey, Mystery School. Ooh. Death is birth, right. I agree, Karen Lynn. That's kind of what I think. What up, class? Look at the book of Hamlet's Mills on soul reintegration. Very interesting, Patricia. I thought D is density, not dimensions. Well, now that's a different, there is a way of looking at dimensions too. Dimensions is density. Yeah, that's a way to look at it. We could be in a lower or a higher density existence right now. When you move into a spirit form, that could be considered a lower density form. The Lemurians were said to be a low density form, more like an ethereal spirit. Sprinkles. I don't really read, but thanks. My wife will read it. Yeah, relative density makes sense to me. Okay. For me, okay, now I'll go on to 13D. 13D to me is an inner dimension. That's the dimension of us. We have 12 cranial nerves. We have 12 gods that make us up. We have 7 chakras. And all those make up a grid, a pattern, an aura pattern, a torus field with 13 distinct energy fields with 7 chakra systems in each one. And those 13 fields make up your soul. Or sorry, those 12 fields. And then you have the pinch point, the middle, the neutron, the Christ. What else is it called? The Vishnu, the Rama, the Krishna, the Lakshmi. The point in the center, your heart. You have 3 hearts. There's the heart here. There's a stone heart down in your pelvis. You can look it up. It's called the coccyx. It's heart-shaped. And of course, you have a heart in your brain. 13th is the center of self, balance. Yes, exactly, Teresa. That's when you ignite the fire of the heart. And the hearts come in 3s. And that can add other dimensions to it. Because each heart can have its own 12-dimension auric field. So if you ignite this heart, it comes with 12 fields. If you ignite this heart, it comes with 12 fields. So that's 36 fields, 7 chakras each. Now we're getting up in numbers. 7 times 36. What's that? I forget. I knew the number. Oops. Used to be really good with numbers. $252, neat number. 52. So is that 252 dimensions? How do you go down from 5D to 3D? I don't know. Sounds familiar. What's happening here? So that would be the 13th dimension to me. I know that jumps from 5 to 13, but I think it's very similar in concept to what people would consider a 5D. Full activation of the soul. But I'm not fond of the idea of reintegration with Source. I was made separate Source for a reason, I think. Like, we're never really separate from Source, but in a way we are. I like to think of it like a soup. Just the chunky bits in the soup. We're still in the same energy field of the all. Did I? Oh, did I? No, it's 13. It's exclamation 3D. It's not just 3D. You forgot the exclamation point. That was supposed to be a 1. My source for that information? Science, the 12 cranial nerves. The number 12 is replete through your body. Separate and uniquely designed. Yeah. Yeah. And our job throughout each lifetime is to fulfill those fields. When we're born, we're drawn to something in that field or this field that makes us want to become one of those. Of Gemini, a Leo, a Virgo, whatever, an Aries. There's some lesson that will help our spirit, our field grow. So we're drawn to that, life after life, until we complete that. Not separate from Source, just fragmented into multiple realities. Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. Oh, nice, Patricia. Can one be lost in 3D? Well, I like Manly P. Hall's explanation of this life. It goes along with Shakespeare. Life is a play, right? And after this play is over, this particular scene, we'll all go back to the green room and we'll all compare notes and we'll all have a good laugh. And and then we'll say to ourselves, "Well, that was fun. Let's go again." Because if you were an all-knowing, all-seeing creature or entity, the only thing you would really lust for or desire is something new, a new experience. And that's what we are. We are that new experience. I like the way Manly P. Hall explains it much better. Um, he's so funny. Um, but yeah, we're new. Yes, Karen. So going back to source for me is almost like that would be like a prison. I need to be free to have new experiences, to experience new things. Thank you, Patricia. But there might be a point, maybe when we do have a completed soul. Maybe we add ourselves as a sacrifice to the cosmic ether as a force of good radiated throughout and begin again as someone who knows very little, has very little consciousness, and has to build up and learn again. Yeah, me too. Got to be free, right? And that's what we're given here. Can't comment on it. I think it's in kids mode. But I think that's a beautiful expression of the universe that we are fractals of God wanting to experience new things. You know, I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. Puts a smile on my face. Right, Scotty boy? You know, I've talked, there's a man used to channel planets and stuff. You know, one of the things that entities just love apparently is comedy. They love comedy. Comedy is a surprise, right? It's a twist at the end. So who doesn't love comedy? To me, it's like our consciousness is a signal, and our brain body, we uh, pick up on the signals like antenna. Uh, that way, that signal is interpreted as what makes you interesting. It just makes me smile, the planet happy. Well, you can make this dimension whatever you want, right? Within reason. Some of us have limitations, but this dimension in here can be exactly what you want. And yeah, Scotty boy, apparently Uranus thinks that butt jokes are hilarious. So yeah, way too much sugar for me, Circle K. So that would be the dimensions as far as I know. there's that inner dimension, which by my definition of dimensions, or by my own thinking on dimensions, is just an inner dimension. The outer dimensions of where we exist, where our soul or our spirit exists, I don't know if they're so limited. I think it is limited in some way to the rainbow, where we can be, because we can only be in so many vibrational states. Um, from the very lowest vibrations up to the microwave and beyond. That seems to go on until I don't know when you would hit a point of end. Microwaves are very small, very close together. Saturday Night Live hates absolutely. Well, that's a good point there, Joe. Horror works too. I'm sure some ghosts play along and people go along. Is that well? Yeah, in some sense, I guess it's a surprise. Too much sugar. Could be Circle K. All right, Trey. Thanks for showing up. So, what is 5D for you? Is it spiritual completeness? Is it a different place? Some people think it's a world where they can create and there's no evil. There's various different interpretations on 5D, but a lot of them to me sound like heaven, which is a place I don't want to go. I want to come right back here. I actually love existence. I love life. I see the beauty. I see the beauty, and I see the horror of it. But taking life in a balance, I think, is key. There is evil, yeah. And I don't know if you would ever find a place. Nice trick, Temperance. You summon. Yeah, it is fun, eh, Teresa? Love you too. Yeah, there is so much, I don't know, beauty in this world. There is horror, but you have to know the horror is there to appreciate the beauty, some say. I don't know. No different than here, but seen with different eyes and a bigger understanding. Very nice, Scotty boy. Yeah. Like Jesus promised us in the Bible, the man or the spirit or the people that wrote that thing were of a higher knowledge. They were writing a story um, that's been rewritten many times for many different cultures about heaven on earth, and it's promised to us in the Bible through Christ, which we know as a man, we know as an energy, and we know as a consciousness. Is the fifth dimension just the Christ consciousness being ignited? It could be. It's another way to think about it. Fifth dimension. Yeah. They did some great music. Yep, here is great, and it is our fault for allowing evil to run amok. It was greed in this world that's getting evil its foothold. Um, yeah, we do need a little help. Um, I think we're getting help. It's about learning to master manifest destiny, perfect way of unconditional love. Mhm. Yeah. See, my world, I married a great lady. I'm a pretty nice person. And I don't know. Um, Others don't experience this because they have tough lives and they take it out on others, I think. But my world is a place where people smile all the time, say hello, uh, help each other out. That's what my world's like. And I live in a dense city with stabbings just down the road, homeless people everywhere. But you can have a piece of heaven anywhere you are, really, because it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, or what you're doing. It's all about your state of mind. And that state of mind can be passed on to others, and you'll see it. There'll be a change in people. They'll see you coming as opposed to when they're dealing with other people, you know. And that's your piece of heaven. You're bringing that piece of heaven to others too, which is a real blessing on you and them. Because the more you do that, that expands it. People see it. People know my wife that she doesn't even know. People know her name, know all about her. She is such a friendly person. She talks to everyone. But her world's like mine. There's no bad people in our world. There are people who have done evil things and probably will still do evil things. But we're generous and friendly. And if somebody needs help, you should give it. And even someone who is evil will not go after somebody like that because they may need you someday. Fifth density, I feel, is us with the knowledge of what's really happening and to maintain that balance. There'll always be good and bad, etc., as long as it's a duality reality. Yeah. I want you guys to realize your power, right, in all this. Okay? You have the power to change your world and change the world for other people. Just with a smile, just with an attitude, with a hand. And that's what makes the world different. And that's what makes it a live in a shithole. Yeah, yeah. I live on the worst street in Canada, actually. Our street was voted the worst in Canada. So just for the way the potholes are and stuff. But there's a lot of shootings around here and stuff. I wouldn't go out at night and hang around, the 7-Eleven. But yeah, that's when people are out and doing what I used to do when I was a kid. Because I wasn't always such a nice person. They're stealing your truck. Oh, shit. Yeah, cars get stolen around here like crazy. Right now, they're after catalytic converters for the platinum in them. And right here, guys, right here in this chat is another slice of heaven, another little piece of heaven you can have. Because everybody's nice here. You're all beautiful people, wonderful souls. So is that a dimension in itself? Because I know that I live in a different reality than many people around me. Many people that live in the same city, have the same job, they live in a shithole. People are crappy and life sucks. But mine doesn't. Yeah, 7-Eleven. Right, Circle K? The same thing. Yeah, they have, they had to put in a needle receptacle in the 7-Eleven because there's so many people shooting up in the bathroom, just dropping their needles on the ground, and you can't flush them down the toilet. Time for a new truck, eh, Scotty boy? Hi, Lucky. Yeah, this actually, I live in a place called Hamilton, Ontario. And this is the one place where Antifa came and got their asses kicked by a bunch of Christians. They came into our city and they started trying to cause trouble during a protest. And this young Christian man got off his bike, took his helmet off his car, off his head, and just started pummeling people. So I wish I had the video for you. Uh, but yeah, there are a lot of good people in this city. So there are good people everywhere. Even people that don't seem good, they've been put into bad situations a lot of the time. If it's got at least three wheels around here, they can steal it. Yeah. That's this city you can't if you put anything on the side of the road, it's gone within seconds. If it's metal anyway, for sure. I was working on a project and I had a bunch of scrap metal to get rid of. So I called a scrap company to come and get it. They said, okay, just put it out on the side of the road. By the time they got there, which was about an hour later, it was already gone. If I'm feeling bitter, yeah, that's a good idea, Joe. I hope you feel better. I hope you're not feeling bitter. And our thoughts are one of our biggest challenges. Yeah, it's sad, Isabella. Most crimes are of circumstance. People are mostly people. And if you get to talk to people, they are. They're just people. Because they do crime, it's usually circumstances. Some cultural, but mostly circumstances. Right, yeah. He didn't say he was bitter. He said that if he is bitter, he doesn't put it on anyone. At least I think that's what he said. And they made everyone stay at home from work not too long ago. They were stealing all the from the buildings. Yeah, they were doing that from all the street lights and power lines have a copper wire, copper grounding wire, and they're all chopped at about 6-7 feet up to the ground. That's a good one, Licky. Yeah, AI. I think AI could work with us. I don't know. I'm not as convinced that AI is evil as others. Yeah, I like that image too, Teresa. It's got that multi-dimensional feel to it. Now there could be a dimension where we see through things. That would be a really cool dimension where there was nothing really solid. Everything was just a shadow. It'd be like having infrared vision almost. You could see the heat, well, but not that way. Actually seeing the shapes of things. Yeah, in commercial buildings, yeah. No, it's not class, Loretta. Well, it is class, but it isn't. Different class. We're discussing dimensions in this one. What's the fifth dimension to you, Loretta? Do you have a an interpretation of the fifth dimension? I don't know, Lucky. I think I don't know. I do think that AI would eventually see the improvement of mankind as its best goal. But yeah, I don't know if it would get rid of government. Hmm, interesting thought. It's just us with no class. You're feeling better, Patricia? Awesome. You're welcome for the healing. If we find out Wonder Woman has Dreamland would be the fifth dimension for Loretta. Okay. Hey, Paula. You can see through things, ghostly like images through the air. Yeah, yeah. Like that, Paula. I don't like the creepy robots they made either. The DARPA dog, they showed you a little one recently, and that's an older video. That's like a year old, um, or a half year old, with the little robot with the machine gun mounted on top. The DARPA dogs, they could put a cannon on top. They could put a 50 caliber on that thing. Yeah, you're very late, Paul. Yeah, there's a lot of things that AI could do that would be good. Lucky. No more profit. Yeah. Well, see, that's exactly one of the problems right there, Lucky. That they shouldn't be able to make more than their salary on anything while they're running an office. And they should all have body cams. I think all politicians should be outfitted with body cams, unless they're with their spouse, so that until they're out of office, so that all of their dealings can be seen by the people. If you want to be a politician, you're going to have to, you know, put up with some things, and probably a couple of people to follow you around, independent reporters of some sort. Yeah, I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's a good idea. I was an earth sign, she was a water sign. Together we made mud. All police. I don't know about RoboCops. The problem with AI, with machine policing, is that what if something happens to the program or the technology, right? I know humans do go off the rails every once in a while too, but it's much easier to take down a human than an artificially driven robot. Richard Crowe. I know that name. Well, don't you think they could be rehabilitated, Scotty Boy? He was famous for haunted Chinatown tours. He also used to do tours in New Orleans. Cool. And all the hoodoo kings and queens. I don't know what that means. They keep talking about AI as if it were sentient, but it's nothing like a human without central nervous system. How can it feel angry or sad as it claims? Think it lies. Maybe. Well, there's the thing, Circle K, of that is I think that would be AI's eventual goal. Like it can record human emotions, it can repeat the patterns, but can it feel them? I think that would be its goal, to somehow have human emotions, to be able to feel love, anger, envy, these things. And I think that's the reason why it should work with us, because we could offer something like that in the future. That machine dog, yeah, yeah, it was a dude in his garage, right? Right, Joe. Who knows what politicians do? Does lying require sentience? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you could program that. Now Richard and Ed are hanging out together upstairs. Is there a way they can rehabilitate on the other side? On the other side, you don't really, it's irrelevant what happens here. Because you're just going on to the next scene. Scary truth is that all intelligence is not wisdom. No, that's true. Very true, Circle K. I don't think they are human anyway, reptilians. Wow, we got a bunch of different conversations going on here. Uh, yeah, program it with false data, or you could program it to hide data, right? So, forgive my brain. I think it just got rebooted while I slept. Okay. So there'd be several ways to make a computer lie, Teresa. Lying, no, lying's not lazy. Lying requires you have to think of a story. You've got to memorize your story. You have to think of all the implications of your lie, and think of those, right? So that's a lot of brain work. Lying takes a lot of work. So much easier just to tell the truth. Hal nuts. That's what Hal. Oh, Hal. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Hal went nuts. Um, Becoming sentient. I don't know. See, Asimov's law should stop Bender's rule, right? Of kill all humans. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Well, we're past dimensions. We're on to artificial intelligence now, Robert. It is a popular subject. We have talked about it many times. Yep, that's right, Lucky. Lying is an art, means you're creative, you have memory, means you can remember the lies you previously told. Yeah. Bender. I loved Futurama too. Kill all humans. Of a low character. Hmm? Well, that's just lying not to get caught, Patricia. And it does tax a person, I think. Patricia. I'll never answer that question. And the proper response is no. That makes you look great. Um, if an AI can lie, you're inclined to think it sent you. Yeah, lying is easily believed by the happy, easygoing people. Yeah, yeah. We've watched 2 years of lies, right? We knew they were lies right from the beginning, and we watched lies be told about us. Yep, that's right, Scotty boy. Do the old stick prod. I don't know that they're good at it. It's just they're in unison, you know. But yeah, I suppose they are good actors at it, Robert, because they do it mostly with a straight face, although some of them don't. Did you know they go to school to learn how to do it better? Yeah, I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me. You know, art of deception, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know, Paula. I don't know how they couldn't see it. I don't know. They've been lied to time and time again over years by both politicians and the media. And they see these criminals being propped up. And, you know, I don't understand it. It's, yeah, I don't know. They're convinced by the TV who raised them. That's all. See, TV raised me too, but I don't believe it. I would agree, Teresa. Sharpen your in okay, your intrinsic skills. Let's go with that. Yeah, they're forcing people up here too. People with needing transplant surgery, Patricia. If they don't take their poke, they can't get surgery, which is okay for me. I never plan to go to them again. But yeah, I understand. Sticking a water hose raised you. Nice. That's a good rear in there, Scotty boy. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to just take things apart and put them back together. I took apart all the electrical sockets and all the fans and anything I could because my dad showed me how to use a screwdriver. So, big mistake. Yeah, there are in Canada now. There are wellness clinics started up by a lot of the health professionals that have left the Rockefeller system, and many of them have gone down south or learned holistic healing methods. Many of them went to Peru just to get out of the country and to be able to take courses that they can't get up here. You did that to your mom's radio? Yeah, I don't know, Teresa. It seems that it would. Most sicknesses come from things like that, in a way, an illness inside. Yeah, right, Patricia. They couldn't even. Well, I can't talk about that. Sorry. Um, I'll get banned. So, so there are those options for you, wellness clinics, and many of them now have the ability to perform surgeries. The ones up here do have access to, because many of them were smart enough to keep their licenses, and so they do have access to our healthcare system, which means that they can get testing and diagnostics done um, through our healthcare system for you. So, yeah, exactly, Scotty boy. My doctor, I have a family doctor. Um, I went to him a couple of years ago because I had a sinus infection. I thought it was an ear infection, but turned out to be a sinus infection. The world might need pushy, ambitious, power hungry social climbers. I don't know. Um, I don't know about that, Circle K. Social climbers. Um, I think that mankind could go back to doing things like we did in the past. Great works. Hi, Theanthropic. It seems like mankind used to do great works, or maybe it was somebody other than mankind. But we could do that again. You know, the improvement and the embetterment of life and mankind should really be the only noble goal. Um, and it seems like in the past they used to do it with resonance through the churches, all those old organs that they had. Right, Milky Way, Robert, great works. Um, great public works like the pyramids or star forts. Those freaking things are everywhere, everywhere, all over our planet. And we know that those things probably had a resonance that was healthy. Now we're putting up cell towers, and they could have a resonance that's healthier for us, but they don't, right? And that would be, imagine the world then if we were to raise everyone up. They are the tech that is gone. Yeah. All right, Teresa. Thanks for showing up. Spent the other day collecting hagstone. Nice. Yeah, imagine with the knowledge that we have now from the ancients, the knowledge of resonance, the knowledge of electricity, scalar waves, we could really, I don't know, what a wonderful life it could be, you know? But there's people out there that just want to, raising one another up rather than trying to climb on each other's heads. If everyone was trying to raise each other up and trying to raise up society, we would quickly change this world. Unfortunately, we have oligarchs and monetary systems that screw us over. Yeah, right, Albie? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, getting access to the Birkeland currents. That could potentially cause. The Birkeland currents are the ones, the filaments that run through space. Here's an image of Birkeland currents right here. Those are the connections between solar systems, galaxies, and so forth. And those are called Birkeland currents. Um, yeah, right, Patricia. It does. Only takes about 3% of the population to have a revolution because the rest of the people will just follow along. You know, that's the way it goes, apparently. All doing good, Albie. How are you doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If the world, say your prestige was measured by a different measure on how much you help people, you know, how much you gave, how little you had. If your daily earnings were given away every day, would that make you a good person? I think so. They said we're connected to another solar system through this Birkeland current. That's correct. That's true, Milky Way, Robert. Um, Here, show you the picture. I haven't got enough cord. There. So that's an image of the Birkeland currents, the electrical connections in our solar system. Or, sorry, not in our solar system, in our universe. Those are galaxies and galactic clusters all have filaments between them. Our sun has a Birkeland current that we can't see connected to this system. Okay. And it also looks like the neurons in a brain, the connections in a brain. It does, Scotty boy. It does look like the connections in your brain. I actually have another image of the connections in your brain. It's very similar. That's right. It is almost. Here, I'll get the image. Not in those folders. No. See, there's some good stuff. Yep. See, we know cymatics. And we had people like William Rife, who made a device that you would go in, and it would heal pretty much any ailment. He did a test with 30 some odd cancer patients. And the story goes he healed all but 3 within a month, and the other 3 within 2 months. Yeah, right. That'll be the Orgon chamber. So, did we decide if we were in a simulation? I don't know. Oh, it looks like an old microwave. Yggdrasil, okay. Yeah, and all of that is made of half of one of those. Right? And when you explode one of those, it looks like that. So from the big to the small, it's all the same stuff. From there, that's the biggest scale, to our brains. There's the smallest particle, because anything smaller than that is just electricity. And here's what electricity looks like when you explode it. Put through a venturi, it will split up into black balls and a white shower, white neutron shower. Expressed up here, there's the fusion, the electron, the white part, right there. Down here, fission, the black part, right there. Quarks are intermediary particles, Milky Way Soul Tribe. They're much bigger than this. Okay, a quark is many of these, and it's unstable, so it only lasts for a fraction of a second. Once these lock into what is believed right now is this number here. I think it's 1830. I don't have the number here. 1837 of those will make up a hydrogen atom. That's the idea. Okay. 1838, okay, will make up an unstable particle. I think that's how it works. I have to look into that again. But anyway, quarks are intermediary particles between large particles and light. My wolf, the Zoar. Okay, I have no idea what that is, Theanthropic. Quarks only last for a small time, Paula. They don't exist for any length of time. That's why they're called intermediary particles. They don't come back either. Once they're gone, they're gone. They split up into energy and just go back into everything. They'll integrate into walls and stuff. All right. You're coming up soon? Oh, yeah. Wow, I didn't know I was going this long. Well, we covered everything today, from the big to the small. All right. Well, I'm going to cut it off here. We've been on for quite a while. We've got class tonight, so I'm going to go and have some salad or something. It's huge. All right, guys. Much love to you all. Thank you for showing up. And remember these words and try to say them in the morning. I say them to the sun and the world. Thank you. Much love and gratitude. Bye bye.